One. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Public Safety and Beer and Regulated Beverages Committee meeting. I'll start out with taking the attendance for our committee. I see Councilman Pulley, Councilwoman Johnston.
He's here, yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Johnston. Councilman Nash.
Present.
Councilwoman Roberts. See you.
Here.
Thank you. Councilman Rosenberg. I see you, Vice Chair.
Hey.
Councilman Swope.
I'm here, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Taylor.
Present.
Thank you. Councilwoman Vercher.
Present.
Thank you. And I am here. Councilwoman Porterfield.
I'm present, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have 9 present, I believe, for the record. And before we begin, I'll read the motion for our electronic meeting. And if someone after can move it, I would appreciate it. Pursuant to Governor Lee's Executive Order number 16 regarding electronic meetings as extended by Executive Orders number 34, 51, and 60, I make a motion that this committee meeting agenda constitutes essential business of the Metropolitan Council and that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Wonderful. Is everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
thank you. Anyone opposed? If you would raise your electronic hand and we will note that. Wonderful, no opposition. Thank you. All right, we will get started. Before I get started, I would like to note that there is an error or change in your agenda. Resolution in the RS 2020-522 states in your agenda that there's a proposed amendment by Mendez that is incorrect. That amendment is for Resolution 2020-525. So that's just to note. For your agenda, there is no resolution or amendment for 522, but there is one that we'll take up for 525. All right, we'll get started with Resolution RS 2020-519 by Welch. Exempts Peachtree Drive-In located at 329 Peachtree Street from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a beer permit. Motion. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Let's open it up for discussion. Is the sponsor here, Councilwoman Welch?
I am, Madam Chair. Thank you so much. This amendment, this SP is needed because when my constituents began building their restaurant, they looked at some old mappage on Metro's website, and it looked as if the property next to them was commercial. In fact, it's zoned residential, and they are about 10 feet too close. So I respectfully ask the committee to approve the SP so that they can, they are now open and serving the community and already well loved, and I would respectfully ask for the committee to approve this SP. Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion about this resolution? All right. Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? If you raise your electronic hand. Any abstentions? I see none. All right, thank you. 9 in favor, 0 opposed. And second on our agenda, RS 2020-520 by Sledge exempts dads or DADS, CBSs, and LLCs doing business as Good Time Charlie's located at 1529 4th Avenue South from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a beer permit. Made a motion to move.
So
Properly moved and seconded. The sponsor is here. Mr. Councilman Sledge, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be asking for a 2-meeting deferral on this one, please.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on a 2-meeting deferral? Anyone opposed? Please raise your electronic hand. All right. I see no discussion. I see no opposition. And this 2-meeting approved for 2-meeting deferral. 9 in favor, 0 against. Resolution 2020-521 by Taylor exempts Willie B's Kitchen and Lounge located at 918 Buchanan Street from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a beer permit. Motion to move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And Councilman Taylor is here.
Yes, thank you. This is, it's been a welcoming company and restaurant to the Buchanan Arts District and Elizabeth Park area in North Nashville. This adds some entertainment and also some food in North Nashville, and we're excited to have them here. That is very close to residential area and school. And so we had to file this resolution to let them serve beer in their establishment.
Okay. Any discussion? Councilman Taylor, is this business already open?
It is already open, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is it, it's a lounge, so I guess part of their business is at night?
That is correct.
Okay. And is it it's close to a residential, so do you anticipate or have you heard of any issues?
I've not heard of any issues from this company, from this group. In my last conversations, I know one of the main things that they're working on is in conversations with parking with the property owner in the area to assure that their customers have somewhere to park.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? I don't see any hands. We'll go with, is anyone opposed to this resolution? Please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? All right. Resolution is approved. 9 in favor, 0 against. RS 2020-522 by Sledge exempts the basement located at 1604 8th Avenue South from the minimum distance requirements for obtaining a beer permit. May I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Wonderful, thank you. Councilman Sledge, are
Thank
you?
you. Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Sorry, got back on. I'd appreciate the committee's support on this one. This is for the basement, which is a long-running, beloved music venue on 8th Avenue South. This basically is going to allow them to do safely, socially distanced outdoor events. The reason I'm moving with this one tonight as opposed to the other one is that this got hung up for about a month, maybe more, during back and forth while the owner was actually trying to work with the beer board to figure out what the best application process was. It turned out that a distance exemption was it. I think everybody knows where the basement is. It is somewhat near residential. I've talked to those owners. They're good. And it's, I think, 99 feet across from Reservoir Park. So that tends to trigger things on that side of it. So appreciate your support.
All right. Any further discussion or questions? I do not see any hands. All right. Anyone opposed to Bill 2020-522, please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? All right, no abstentions. Our resolution 2020-522 passes, 9 in favor, 0 against. All right, next resolution, RS 2020-525 by Toombs, Gamble, and Bradford. Approves an intergovernmental agreement between the United States Marshal Service and the Metro government for detention services for federal detainees. And I believe there is an amendment on this resolution. Thank you. And should we hear the amendment? Thank you. Should we take the amendment first?
I move the bill.
Okay. So we'll move the bill.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the bill.
And now I'd move the amendment.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Okay,
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not out of order, but we do have a representative from the Sheriff's Department. I think Sheriff Hall is here who can speak to that at some point. So if you want to speak from the sponsor first, I'd like to hear from him as well.
Wonderful. Is Councilman Mendez on the call? I'm not sure if he's here. Well, we certainly welcome Sheriff Hall. To my second committee meeting as chair. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, for all your work, and look forward to working with you all year. I surely don't want to speak for Councilmember Mendez, but last night at Budget and Finance, I think he explained the amendment better. It was something I personally agree with it. It works well. Just to kind of ease everybody with what's going on. We've had a contract with the U.S. Marshal, the federal government, for over 30 years. I've worked here nearly that long, so we've had one at least as long as I've been here. What we've done here is we've gone back to the U.S. Marshal, renegotiated the rate. It's a substantial increase. It was $62. This is a $95 a day rate. And so that revenue, just so you know, goes to the general fund, to you guys. It does not stay with the sheriff's office. And so it should be about a net $2.3 million back into the coffers. So that's a good thing. And quite frankly, with the federal courthouse under construction here now in Nashville, that's what this is. These are people charged with federal crimes going to that courthouse, given that we have it in our city. And so I appreciate your support. And again, one other, to clarify a couple of things that Councilmember Mendez was instrumental in getting added is we've removed the word ICE, so you cannot use this for any ICE detainees. I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable with that. But it's federal criminal charges headed to federal courthouse. And I think it's a pretty good revenue stream for the city as well. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for that explanation. Is there any further discussion? Any questions? All right, I do not. Okay, I do see a hand. Well, it's gone now. Councilwoman Vercher.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Sheriff Hall, for being here with the committee as well. With the removal of the word ICE, is that any type of financial loss to the city?
That's a really good question. Over a year ago now, we discontinued housing ICE detainees. And at the time, those are people that the federal government asked us to house, and you were reimbursed for those. But we discontinued that as a policy about a year ago. I believe the revenue that year was somewhere around $75,000 net total that entire year. So I don't see any loss for what you're getting now. And again, it was a contractual arrangement. And I think what this does do is the U.S. Marshal is desperate for beds, and that's why they're willing to pay this rate. And Nashville has the availability, the extra beds that were built years ago. And so you're in a really good place to use those if that's what you choose to do. And I think it's a good revenue stream, but you don't lose anything additionally because of the ICE being removed.
Okay, and then another question. Is there any laws where the U.S. Marshals could federally tell you that you will be required to hold detain anyone as it relates to ICE?
No, we couldn't be forced to do that. I will tell you, there are, a person who could be federally criminally charged, with a crime in federal court and in the custody of U.S. Marshal could end up in this environment. But that's not a civil detainee, and it's not what everyone, I think, over the years, had brought attention to. And so I see Councilmember Mendez, he probably could clear that up better than I. But yeah, they can't force us to house a civil detainee, and contractually we wouldn't do it, but they can't force us to either way.
Okay, but any criminally as it related to ICE, they could still be held?
Yeah, so if a person was taken into federal court and criminally charged with violating an immigration law in a federal criminal case, that individual could technically be in our custody. But again, those are far-reaching outside of what, I think the concern in our community had been about the civil detainees. That I will just tell you, that hasn't happened to date. It could. It's extremely rare for a federal criminal case to be in the custody or in ICE custody. But it removes for ICE civil detainees, and I'm sure we have our eyes on that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sheriff. That answers all my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Councilman Mendez has joined us. Councilman Mendez, floor is yours.
Thanks. I'm sorry I'm late. I just wanted to mention that I'm here. If my amendment hasn't been moved, I would ask somebody on the committee to move the amendment, please.
It has been moved, so you can go on and speak to it.
Okay, thanks. I came in while Sheriff Hall was answering Councilmember Bercher's questions, and I agree with everything he said. And I want to thank Sheriff Hall. We've been talking about this topic for several years, and I know he's been working on this particular contract amendment for a year with the federal government, and he's had to deal with their slowness. This is a win-win, and the amendment simply does more explanation about the long-term history of holding federal detainees here, and also clarifies specifically mentioning the sheriff's policy about not holding civil ICE detainees. And I would appreciate if the amendment gets added, please.
All right. Mr. Cooper or Danielle, do we need to move that amendment first, or should we vote on the bill?
Move the amendment first, and then you can move the bill.
Okay.
Vote on the amendment.
The amendment passes.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So all those in favor of the amendment, well, is there any further discussion on the amendment before we take a vote?
Chairman,
Ash.
Yes. Sheriff, you mentioned that there's a good revenue stream. I may misunderstand the process, but we're not making a profit off of this. We're merely being reimbursed for our expenses. Is that correct or not?
Actually, no, you're generating additional revenue. So basically what happens is the mayor's office, I approached them, I don't know, a year ago and said the marshals are approaching us wanting more beds. We have available beds in our jail. Now, I would need positions, officers to work in those units because they're basically vacant. So in the budget that you guys approved through the mayor's office, they granted me 20 positions, which is a $1.1 million expense. But that $1.1 million expense generates $3.4 million back to you. So the net is about 2.2, 2.3. So it is, in essence, they are in vacant beds that you've already expended because you built the building and you have staff already working in there. And with these 20 additional positions, you have a net gain. So it's to cover all of your costs. And again, I think some people would argue that profit doesn't sound right to me either, but it is definitely generating revenue that you wouldn't be getting without it. So.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, thank you. Councilman Mendez, I see your hand still up. Is that from before or you have other comments? All right, thank you. All right, I see no further hands. With no further discussion, those who are opposed to bill or resolution 2025-25, please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? All right. Resolution 525 is approved, 9 in favor, 0 against, or the amendment, I should say, is approved, 9 in favor, 0 against, and now we will vote on the bill. Any further discussion on the bill? I see no hands. All right, anyone opposed, please raise your electronic hand. If you're opposed to Bill 525 or Resolution 525. I see no hands. Any abstentions? Wonderful. And the bill passes as amended, 9 in favor, 0 against. Moving on to Resolution 2020-526 by Toombs, Gamble, and Welch, approves a contract between the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services and the Metro government for establishing agreed rates for court-ordered evaluations and treatment for defendants charged with misdemeanor crimes. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Open for discussion. And I'm not sure if Councilwoman Toombs is here. Is there someone from the mental health department that would like to speak about this on the call? Okay.
Pardon me, Madam
Councilwoman Porterfield.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If there's not a sponsor and if there's not a letter, then I will sign on to the legislation.
I appreciate that. I'm here, but I would appreciate that. And I'm not sure if Councilwoman Welch is here. So wonderful. With that, is there any discussion or any questions on this? All right. With no questions and no discussion, anyone opposed to this bill or this resolution, 526, please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands in opposition. Any abstentions? All right, thank you. The resolution passes, 9 in favor, 0 against. Resolution 2025-36 approves Amendment 1 to a contract between the Metro government for N4 Inc. to provide maintenance and support of workforce time and attendance software for the Metro Police Department, Nashville Police Department. Motion to
So moved.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. Properly motioned and second. Open for discussion. I'm not sure if Ms. Toombs has joined us, but is there someone from the police department? I believe Sergeant Gilder may be here.
Captain Gilder, I believe, is on the line, Madam Chair.
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. Can you give us an explanation of this software and project?
Sure. So N4 is the software that we utilize for our time accounting system. It's similar in nature to the Kronos system that some of the other Metro government uses, but this had been customized for us years ago. We did look, just so you know, at what it would cost to switch to Kronos versus maintaining our N4 system. And our IT folks estimated about $500,000 savings to stay with the N4 system. So that's why we're seeking to renew this contract.
That's wonderful. And is there a time frame on the contract?
I would have to double check. Sorry, I don't have that information in front of me. The last one was for 3 years, so I would suspect this is probably about the same, but I'd have to double check that for you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Looking down the line for hands, and I don't see any other hands. Any further discussion? Councilman Pulley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just very briefly for Captain Gilder, can you tell us exactly how much money we'd be saving by going with this software company rather than switching over to Kronos?
Yes, sir. Our IT folks did look at the Kronos, and they believe it's about a $500,000 savings on the front end, and it may actually end up being more because Kronos may have to build onto existing systems, which would be additional costs. So on the front end, it looks like about a $500,000.
All right, thank you, sir. I have nothing further, Madam Chair.
Thank you. That's wonderful. All right, with no further questions or discussion, anyone opposed to this resolution 536, please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? Wonderful. 536 passes, 9 in favor, 0 against. And bills on third reading. We do have one that was re-referred to our committee. Bill 2020-403 by Parker, Henderson, and others amends the Metro Code of Laws relative to sidewalk cafes and Chapter 7.08 of the Metro Code relative to retail sales and storage of beer and providing that businesses may utilize parking areas for additional customer seating under certain conditions. Move for approval.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. And Councilman Parker is here. Would you like to tell us about your
Can I move the substitute
yes,
so we can get that on?
Yes, please.
Right, I move the substitute.
Second.
Wonderful. Thank you. Councilman Parker.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair and committee members. As you'll recall, I've been working on this bill for a while and working closely with the administration to make sure that this was something that our departments were comfortable with and that could be effectively administered. And for that reason, we did anticipate having a second substitute on third reading, and that's what's before us now. It's the last item in your amendments and substitutes packet. And the reason I definitely wanted to refer this to these committees is to give us an opportunity to discuss if there's any concerns ahead of the vote tonight. So further explanation, I see Mike Jameson in here. I also see Saunders Bradford. If the chair would allow items to speak about the changes this second substitute presents.
Sure, yes. So who, would either one of you like to speak about the second substitute and any changes?
Madam Chair, this is Mike Jameson. You'll probably get a more explanation from Ms. Shepard, who's on the line with it. I do not want to throw her out there. She'd rather I do. Sean.
Ms. Shepard.
Thanks, Mike and Madam Chair. The gist of the change that I think that would be of interest to this committee is that there was a section of the bill that pertained to the sale of beer in right-of-way areas, and we, in consultation with the beer board, became aware of some state law that would make that an issue, and so that has been adjusted to make sure that we're not sideways with state requirements. The other changes had to do with the sunset clause and the sort of expiration date for this temporary approach, and also making sure that this could be handled in restaurants and bars that are located in specific plans and certain kinds of overlay zonings. But I think keeping it in line with the state law pertaining to beer sales was the main point that might be of interest to this group.
Okay, great. Are there any follow-up questions for Ms. Shepard or the sponsor, Councilman Withers?
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and to Councilmember Parker for bringing this. I actually had a question from a business owner in District 6 about this bill and specific to the beer sales, and I wanted to raise it in committee just to make sure that my understanding is accurate and that all of our understanding is accurate. So the question is that this contemplates allowing sales of beer in a sidewalk cafe that otherwise would be a public a public right-of-way area. And the question is, does the initial beer permit holder for the restaurant or bar, do they need to take any separate action with the beer board in order to be able to utilize it? Or is this primarily more of a public works permitting thing? So they just wanted to make sure that they understood what that process is, so hopefully they can take advantage of it as soon as we make it available today.
Madam Chair,
Emily Lamb from Codes is on the line if you want to get her to address some of these issues. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Ms. Lamb.
Yes. Hi, council members. Emily Lamb here from Codes. Councilman Withers, I think the answer to your question is the sidewalk dining cafes those are permits that are issued by Public Works. And included in the second substitute is some language regarding a temporary use permit that would allow Codes to issue temporary use, allow restaurants to use their parking lot that's different from the sidewalk cafes. This is just any restaurant or bar that has a parking lot that they want to use for outdoor seating. This is, of course, an effort to alleviate some of the financial distress and concerns related to COVID for these businesses. So this is a temporary permit that would allow them to use their private parking. It would require review and approval by several departments: Public Works, Beer Board, Health Department, zoning, of course, planning if it's in an SP or a PUD, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. But so there are 4 or 5 departments that would require approval of this. It's a temporary permit. It's only 90 days. The idea being that although this feels like an eternity, hopefully COVID will go away at some point and things can go back to normal. But while COVID is here and we're trying to help these businesses come up with ways to increase their capacity, but also observe appropriate distancing measures, this would give them an opportunity to seat outdoors in their parking lots, in their parking spaces. They are also one thing, they are renewable. So after 90 days, if COVID is still here, we need to consider allowing this to go on. We can renew them for another 90 days. I'm happy to answer any questions about that if y'all have any.
This is Councilmember Withers. Just follow up. So for section 2 of the substitute speaks to the sidewalk cafes. So is it or is it not the case that this permit would allow them to potentially sell beer on a sidewalk in a sidewalk cafe?
I believe that and I may defer, I don't know if anybody from Beer Board is here on the call or if Sean Shepard wants to answer that, but I believe that the beer sales would not be in the right of way. It would be limited to the parking lot. So there are 2 different permits here. There's the sidewalk dining cafe and then there's the outdoor seating in the parking lot.
Can we get clarification on which one this applies to? So this one applies to both?
This second substitute applies to both. There's a provision regarding sidewalk cafes, and then there's the separate provision regarding temporary permits for outdoor dining in parking lots.
But again, just one more time, like I said, I just want to make sure my business owners sometimes don't have a parking lot, but they do have a sidewalk. And they want to make sure that they're not misunderstanding this and running afoul of the Beer Board. So that's the one thing that they wanted me to seek clarification about is, does the sidewalk cafe permit specifically enable them, if they already have a beer sales permit, to extend that beer sales as part of their food and beverage offerings to their sidewalk cafe?
Is there someone that can? Oh, go ahead.
Is there someone from? I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Benton McDonough from the Metro Beer Board. And I just wanted to clarify, if I may, that under state law, you're not allowed to sell beer and alcohol on a public right-of-way. But we have discussed that with the various departments and also with the administration to make sure that they don't run afoul of that. So I believe the process is that they go through Public Works and also Codes, and then that's sent over to us for review, and that way we can clarify to them exactly what they need to do in order to stay within the confines of this permit.
Does that answer your question, Councilman Withers?
Yes, I guess so. What I may do then, if that's the case, is I may instruct, if assuming this legislation passes today, which I hope that it does, I may instruct that business owner in particular to contact the Bureau Board just to seek additional clarification. They just want to make sure that they view this as an opportunity, but they just want to make sure that they don't, result in fines or things that result in misunderstanding. Appreciate everyone working on that. Thank you.
Thank you for your explanation from the Bureau Board. Thank you so much. All right. Are there any other questions or discussion regarding Bill 403? I do not see any more hands. Are we ready to vote on the substitute? All right, without further discussion, if you are opposed to the second substitute for Bill 2020-403, please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? No abstentions. The substitute is approved. And now for the bill. Any more discussion on the bill before we move forward? I see no hands. I don't think I do. Okay. All right. We are ready for a vote on Bill 2020-403 as substituted. Any opposed? Please raise your electronic hand. I see no hands. Any abstentions? No abstentions. Wonderful. Bill 403 passes 9-4, 0 against, and that concludes our meeting for today. Thank you so much.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.